Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Apex Greatness. I am your host, Russell Broderick. Over here today?
On your left.
This way?
Yep. Dario to your right.
This
there
way.
We go.
So we're
Dario
just the same way. Let's go.
Off camera is the fairy pod mother, Lindsay Lehman.
Hello.
And on Monday, it is Mamba Day. Is that correct?
Yes.
So California officially said that August 24th or 8 and 24 is officially going to be known as Mamba Day. So with that in mind, we thought we'd do something fun for Mamba Day, just do a little hypothetical to honor the legend, the myth, known as the Beast, Kobe Bryant.
My GOAT.
So, Lindsay, take it away.
Okay, so we're going to try to figure out what Kobe Bean Bryant's apex great season would be. When you think about his great seasons, you would think about his championship runs with Shaq and the Lakers in the early 2000s. Or you can think about his later championship runs where he was kind of the one-man team with, I guess, Pal, but not really, in 09 and 10. And then his MVP season in 08 as well. So I guess we'll look at a bunch of those.
What my resident Laker fan will go first, and Kobe believer. What's the best way to put it?
Yeah. So for me, it's really close between two seasons, and I think it's between the 09 season and the 2001 season.
Okay.
For me, I personally go with the 09 season, and it might be my bias because that was kind of like where I really, really watched him. And saw like he kind of molded me that way. So right. So I kind of have a little bias towards that season, but I just think personally the stats are very close, and I don't think there's any drop off athletically really. And he's still a great defender.
Yeah.
And I think he's first team all defense both seasons. And then the team is different when you're the second guy versus 1A, 1B in 01 versus just being having the team focused around you in 09.
Right.
So I think, I don't know if Kobe at that time could have won a championship in 01 with the team strictly focused around him and Shaq not being there or something.
Well, that's the question I was going to ask you. Do you think that Kobe would have become Kobe as soon as he did without Shaq?
So like if like his career started in '96 without Shaq,
sure,
and the team was just centered around him,
yeah,
I think he would have. I think it would have been. I don't know if he would have had as much success. I don't know if he would have won 3 championships in 3 years or whatever.
Right.
But I think no matter what, he would have been Kobe because all of the stuff that made him what he was. Yeah, just like that. Oh, I watched that. All the stuff that made him what he was didn't have anything to do with Shaq. I feel like I don't know how much Shaq molded Kobe into being what he was. In terms, like he didn't learn leadership obviously through Shaq. Like he didn't learn. I don't really see.
He didn't learn work ethic either at all.
Yeah. Like Shaq definitely did believe in him at first, and that kind of helped build Kobe's confidence. But I think if the team was to believe in him from the jump and kind of start his career as him being like AI, where he's the focal point and he's their like main draft pick and stuff, I think he would have still had that confidence. I don't think that confidence would have been lost or not there. I feel like he was always a confident player. So I don't know how much Shaq.
Yeah. Also,
besides the
work
chips,
ethic was completely there by that point. So for a while, I was thinking it was. I did a lot of research last night.
Yeah.
So a lot of. I'm just going to throw the top 10 plays up from his 01 season because going into yesterday, I was like, I think that this Kobe is more. There's more to the game, but when I was watching him, I was watching like full game highlights, right?
Hmm.
And a lot of things, and something I was just noticing when we were watching the '09 highlights, and something that I noticed previously was when Kobe was younger, like his early 20s, literally every move that he did was based off a crossover.
Yep, that's a fact.
Every single move that he did. So like here's him scoring 40. 90% of the moves you're going to see here are going to be generated from a quick crossover.
Yeah.
And it's totally different from what we will see towards the end of this decade, where he puts his back to the basket way more and his footwork is so technical. And he like, I don't know.
And he
You would
he
know
still
better.
has that crossover.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that was still an obvious part of his game, or that he just dug way more into the post? Because I felt like, sorry,
No,
I
you
felt
good.
like it was a little, and this also might be because the game changed too, because the game definitely changed within this point of time and the end of the decade. And I wonder if, because he, like you said, he didn't really lose that much athleticism.
Yeah.
So, like, oh man, that was a devastating dunk.
For people, like, if you watch a lot of his play, he's still dunking just like that. Like like I saw him dunk on multiple occasions and on people. Like in the year, just the year after, he dunks on Olenek from no, not Olenek, sorry, Okafor, in the Pelican series, and he's a 7-footer or whatever. So like he definitely has the athleticism.
I think he was one of the 5 best athletes in the league at this point, though, because the more, and I'm going to get into that, because the reason I think that is, it doesn't
In
look like
01?
he had, yeah, and because it doesn't look like he had that at near, like the Kobe I know and the Kobe that you're talking about from the '09 and 2010 and moving on, he like in this era he uses his quickness so much more to his advantage than he does as he gets a little older. Like he went to see Akeem Olajuwon and his game completely changed.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because I've showed this for a little bit now. It's all based on the crossover from there.
Well, he evolved his game. I don't, because he had a lot of the stuff he was doing. He's like it literally just shifted. Like he had more of the crossover stuff. You see, like he's using his crossover there. Like what he did was he started using his crossover more towards the end of games.
Yeah,
and then he started, and then he started breaking people down towards the end. Which when he was younger, he would break them down throughout the whole game. Like that was kind of his thing. But then he would have back to the basket plays when he was younger, like in terms of, because the triangle obviously, and like it looked, that was when people compared him to Jordan a lot, because he had a lot of those moves. And then what he did was he just switched it up, where he was more back to the basket throughout most of the game, and then he broke people down towards the end. So it just kind of was a shift in the game.
Who do you think is the better or more efficient scorer? That's the better way to put it. Who do you think is the more efficient scorer? The younger one or the older one?
You see, and that's what I was trying to break down to. So if you look at it, this Kobe in '09, he averaged like a percentage less field goal wise, and he scored a little less too.
We're looking here, 01, or going down
up 28, the 28%, the 28, 5 and 6.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So like most people, if you look at it, like in '03, he goes to 30 points, stuff like that. But to me, that's not his best season, because he couldn't figure it out as a teammate. Like I think his leadership, in this season, he was having issues with his leadership. But
do you think he was dependent on to be the leader with Shaq on the team?
Well, after, and this was, I was going to break this down more when we were going through finals by finals, but after the 2000 finals, he became the leader of that team.
Okay.
Shaq didn't. Like if you watch it, even during the finals when shit was going south, he was literally the one like saying calm down and like kind of running the offense. And
you're talking about
the Pacers series.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So after he went to overtime.
After Shaq fouled out, that's that one game. He's like, yeah,
but
Shaq
then
it was one of the biggest games of that entire three-peat.
Yeah, but the whole thing is the very next game. So they lose the game after. So and then they win it in 6. But if you look at the 6th game, Kobe was literally running the offense and kind of like having people calm, and like he was literally running the whole offense and kind of being the leader of that portion of the game. And I always thought it was just that one game that Kobe kind of took over, and then after that they just stomped. But if you look at the game 6, he was doing it again. So I feel like that gave him the confidence after that one game, and then he just took off with it.
Oh, this is the Philly series. I'm bugging out.
Yeah, 01 is so 01 was different about that. So Kobe was trying to be the leader in 01, and then you got Shaq kind of going toward the media and saying like the team ran better when it was run through me, pretty much. And and then towards the end of the season, Kobe gets injured, and the team goes on a run, and they clearly were doing better when they were playing without him, and he realized that. So he ended up switching up his game and played more team friendly ball, and that's when they went 16 not 16-0 but 12-0 they almost swept through. So to me, like that's the difference though, because like Kobe in 2009, he didn't have to do that. He already knew more or less like they lost the year before in the finals with Powell, and then he kind of knew what he had to do. And it wasn't really a him thing. It was more of a Powell thing. Powell needed to elevate in order for that series to be a thing. But
so you're picking 09 Kobe is what you're talking about.
And it's mainly because to me the playoffs he goes to like the same level or another level, I feel like, because it's different when you're the main guy that
team.
Yeah, like Shaq was the main focus when stopping the Lakers here.
And
so it's easier. Yeah, and that makes sense. Yeah. So Kobe having a better field goal percentage, a little bit more rebounds, that makes more sense because you have less on your back, like you have less weight on you to like have to deal with. Like his regular season looks better and stuff, and that makes sense because Shaq was injured and stuff. Yeah. But if you look at the playoffs, you can see the difference, and Kobe was the clear guy that everyone had to focus on and everyone had to stop in 09. It wasn't, like Powell was the secondary option. So
right, and very obviously so.
Yeah, and I think it was so close. It's so close between the two when you look at like playoff performances, and like he had 40-point games in 09 and he had 40-point games in 2001. Some of his 2001 games are just exciting because it was just against the Spurs, like, and like the Spurs were such a great team at that point, and they just blew them out of the water.
Yeah. Upon further review, feel like this Kobe is the best Kobe, and it's because of what I was talking about before with the just adding to the game. Because like you were saying, he's still using that crossover that's clearly killing First of all, his crossover killed everybody in the league for more than 10 years.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy to think about. Also, the triple threat is like my favorite part of Kobe's game by a wide margin. And he was in full effect at this point in his career. Triple threat was like
he did it in 01 a lot too, though.
It's not like this.
Yeah, he definitely perfected it at this point.
That's what
at this point, it was just so. It was so.
Completely tell, and this is something that I didn't realize when I had originally brought up the 01 Kobe to you, which is you can tell, and that's the right word for it, that he is a master of his craft. You can just tell. You can tell that, like you didn't have to tell me that he spent 20 hours in the gym a day. You could tell.
Yeah. It's perfection.
pretty obvious.
Like, look at this shot. This shot right here. I watched this live. You see how high arced it was, like, and he didn't. It wasn't even a thought process to him. He's like, that's in. Like he just knows. Like he walked by. Like that shit is nothing. Like that's a tough ass shot.
Yeah, he used to do that to Boston, where when Boston was beating them in the regular season, because they took a lot of L's to Boston in the regular season during this time, and they'd be down like 10-15, and Kobe catch the ball in the post and hit the fucking fadeaway, and it was like the net didn't move. And I was like, shit, how many times do you think he sat there and done that? Like a billion? Is a billion enough?
So we saw the one you saw the one video with Wade talking about Kobe.
Yeah,
and he literally was talking about how
podcast.
Yeah, and this is the shit that I talk about. Like at the time, I feel like Kobe was easily the best player at the time because Wade was talking about him, LeBron, Melo, and Kobe were like the guys at the time that like hung out a lot, and they were talking about working out together. And like they had just finished working out together, and they were talking about working out again in like 3 or 4 hours. And by the time they wake up, get ready to go work out, Kobe had already worked out. Like he was overworking all of them. And these are the greatest. These are probably at the time 3 of the top 5 players in the league at that time were Wade, Kobe, and LeBron. And Melo was up there too. I know a lot of people had Melo at probably 5, 6.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and he's overworking the shit out of him. Like to me,
that's true. The Achilles injury, knowing what you know, with all that information, is not all that surprising. That came to happen because outside of basketball minutes, like NBA minutes, think about how many minutes he's putting in the gym at this speed. Like he doesn't go half speed.
Yeah, he plays full like as if it was a game.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people said during his workouts. They were like, he would just like work out as if it was the game.
Yeah.
So it never was like he had to change pace or something in the game because he was just doing it.
Yeah.
So I definitely, but that just shows how athletic he was though. Like think about that, 17 years, like, and 14 of those years were pure dominance.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, hold on. I got one more question.
Yeah.
Because there's one more season that I wanted to bring up, but I couldn't remember which one it was. It might even be the season we're talking about, but you would know better than I would.
Yeah.
What was the season where he hit all those game winners?
It was the very next season, 2010.
Next season?
Yeah, he has 7 game winners.
Yeah. That's the season. That's my first season where I watch basketball every day.
Oh, okay, gotcha. You could just put maybe Kobe Bryant 2010 game winners.
Oh yeah, that'll work. That's true. Good point. But
I know, like, I want to say like 3 of the 4 teams, 3 of the 7 teams.
There we go.
Yeah, that was the first one. I remember watching this game. Kobe was so off.
You're saying this is the second championship?
Yep. Yeah. But the only reason I don't have. Oh, sorry.
Keep going. What were you going to say?
My bad. The only reason I don't have this one probably if Kobe wasn't injured throughout the season. Kobe was playing through injury. Like he had a bone spur in that finals versus the Spurs. Like he was not himself.
The Celtics.
Yeah, the Celtics series. Like he dislocated his finger this season. That was when he like learned how to shoot, and he was like learning how to shoot lefty as well through it. Yeah. Like he made left-handed threes during the season. Like he was just doing so much crazy shit.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't think this guy is more skilled than the guy from the year before?
No, because if we're saying him without injury, sure. But if we're like, I could see because he gets that one championship by himself and he has all that confidence, but which he already did. But he just like he finally proved it to everyone, and now he was just like chasing Jordan.
Yeah.
But if he wasn't injured throughout the season, I would definitely this would be. To me, it would be so easy to make this case because you see all the game winners he hit.
Because this is the one season that we had not talked about that sticks out to me is this one because of how many different. Because who won the MVP this year? LeBron.
In 2010, yeah, I think so. I think LeBron won 2009 and 2010.
Yeah, he probably won 60 games with a shitty team, right? Something like that.
LeBron?
Yeah.
We'll dive
into his legacy breakdown at a later date. But
yeah, I think it's bullshit that Kobe ain't win MVP this year, but whatever.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Well, my whole thing is he won the same.
I remember this one. I remember where I was for this one.
Yep. And he does the back to the basket shit. Yep. I knew it was the Buck. This is the Bucks right here.
Yeah.
Because I remember the Bucks. I remember the Heat one. I watched the Celtic one. And the whole thing about that Heat one is before that, he had hit like a fadeaway jump shot on Dwayne Wade to like keep the game close. Like he was hitting clutch ass shots. It was just, I don't know. It was awesome.
Oh, is this the step back?
No, this is the one when he goes around and then he like pushes off the defender and gets a wide open three.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah, step back though. Oh, I thought it was. It's like a mini step back.
Yeah. He stepped into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the like. I just remember because I was a big Celtics fan. So I would always root against Kobe when he was playing the Celtics. But outside of that, if he was on NBA TV and some crazy shit like this was happening, I was always rooting for him to hit the game winner. And every time he did, it was like very bizarre. Like he probably had 10 opportunities to hit game winners, and I think he made like 7 of them.
Yeah, he definitely was clutch as fuck that year.
Yeah,
like people talk about, and people try to make up stats to like make other players look so much better. Like they talk about like LeBron's buzzer beaters throughout his career. Like he's had more buzzer beaters than Jordan and Kobe. But I'm like, he hasn't had more game winners than Jordan and Kobe. Like it's not even close. And it's just weird to me, like how people try to like manipulate stats.
It's closer now than it was at this point. But
no, it's not. LeBron has 18 game winners in his career.
No, I'm saying, but how many game winners has he taken?
LeBron?
Yeah.
I don't care. Kobe has 26.
I think that's the
LeBron
point.
has 18.
I think that's the point the person was trying to make with you.
What? Oh.
The sheer amount, asshole. Not the one.
Well, LeBron has the same amount of seasons as Kobe. That's my shit. Like, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, you can't talk.
Like, yo, fuck that shit.
Yeah, you can't talk longevity with Kobe because he has it. Like, so it's like you could talk it with MJ all the time, like with LeBron and MJ. But Kobe's like it's equal. Like they both have the same amount of years of dominance. So it's like it doesn't matter if you're telling me how many more shots. It was like what?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
But we'll take that 09 Kobe